Hello everyone. So in this lectures we will going to see how to secure our routes. So let's open a app.tsx file. So if we see here inside the app.tsx file, so if we see this post routes and users comments and my post. So these are routes will going to be like secure routes. So for opening this and for viewing the content on this on these routes, so user first need to authenticate. So how we will going to do this type of setup. And one more things also, like in backend side, if we see, let me open post resolver. So if we see here inside the post resolver, so performing this add post, so user first need to be authenticate, and also user should have this admin role. So user have this admin role, after that user will able to perform this operation. So how we can have this type of a setup. So let's start this. So basically, so just for the hint, so if you see this type of a patterns, right? So whatever we will going to renders of this child, right? So this child will going to be replace the outlet which is present in which is present inside this element. So in our case it's layout. So I hope it's clear for you. So just I'm reiterating. So if you see, this is the route, we are opening this at the slash, this is the parent path. So whatever route will going to be activate of this route, right? These are all the children. So whatever children will going to be activate, so that children's corresponding element of that children will going to be render. So where that component will going to be render, so that component will going to replace this outlet. So if you see here inside the layout, so here our component will going to be render corresponding to routes. So similar type of a setup we will going to have for making a auth require. So let's do so inside common, let's create a require auth.tsx. So in this components, let's define it require auth. So first let's implement this only for the authentication. After that we will going to add for authorizations also. Sorry, export default. Yeah. So in this route, so let's import our auth. So let's import use auth. So whenever user will going to be logged in, so we will going to have that informations by using this use auth. So here we just need to make sure auth dot users, if there is a user, right, then we will going to render that route. So let's just yeah. So this is our outlet. So whatever the route will going to be activated, so that components will going to just replace here. And in case user is not authenticated, then in that case we will going to navigate. So let's import this navigate from the React router. So it is also a component. So if user is not authenticated, we will going to navigate users to login page. So here we just need to write slash login. Yeah. So if we keep this thing in this way, right, so it will going to be work. But remember, so if you usually open any kind of applications, right, so let's suppose if we are clicking on the home page, so if we don't have a permissions to view the home page, right, it will going to navigate us to the login page. Once we enter the right credentials after the successful login, it will going to again redirect to the same page from where we will navigate it to the login page. So I hope it's clear for you. So what I mean, if users click on the post page and after the login, it should navigate us to the post page. So let me show you. So here let's log in. And before login, let's do one thing. If I click on this my post, right, okay, for now I am able to view this. So okay, let's implement this as it is. Just forget about whatever I was explaining. So I will explain you with example. So now if you see, so after leaving this route, right? So these are the routes, are authenticated routes. Let me segregate. Yeah, and these are the public routes. Okay. So these are the public route. For these routes, we don't need any kind of authentications, nothing at all. But for these routes, we need authentication. And one more thing is also, for performing these routes, we also need roles. Just forget about the roles for now. So let's create one route here, and let's put all these route inside this route. And now let's pass the element, and here we will going to render our require auth. Yeah. So now I hope it's clear for you. So inside the require auth, first we will going to check we have a user informations or not. If we have the user informations, it means user is logged in. So if user is logged in, then just check which child will going to be matched with the current route. So if in case if it is matched with the comments, then replace this comment view with this outlet, so our comment will going to be render. In case if user is not logged in, then we will going to navigate to the login page. So it's pretty easy. So now let's see it will going to work or not. So let's refresh our page. So let's let's refresh again. So if we click on the post, right, let's click on this post. So let me show you again. Yeah. So now if we click on the post, so if you see it is navigating to the login. So in a similar way, if I click on the comments, it is navigating to the login page. If I click on the my post, the similar kind of a things we will going to have. So now if you see here, it is working as expected, but there is a one problem. Let me show you. If I click on the my post, so I was trying to log into my post, okay, but I have not logged in, so it will going to redirect to me login page. So good. So here, once I enter my credentials and once I click on this login page, it should redirect the users to the my post page, because user previously was trying to open this my post. So it should remember the browser history also. So how we will going to achieve this type of thing? So for now, if I click on this, it just going to navigate to the home page. So now let's see how to achieve this type of a behavior. So inside a require auth, right? So at this point we will going to have that information. At this point we will going to have that informations. Let's inject a current path, use location. For fetching the current path, we can use this hook use location. It is coming from React routers, so let's use this location. Okay, so with the help of this location, we will going to remember from which path user came to uh, login page. So here we will going to store this informations on state. So state is one props on this navigate, where we can store any data whatever we want. So let's define from is just a field we have defined. It is not exist by default on state, right? And after that we need to mark this as a replace. Yeah. So this is all we need to do. So here if you see, we have stored some information inside the state. Now we can retrieve the same informations inside our login container. So in case if our login container is getting opened from other page, right? Just for example, if user trying to open a post page, and because of authentications we navigate that users to login page. So on login page we should retrieve the path from where a user is coming to this login page. So how we will going to achieve this thing? So let's use the location here. Use location for getting the current location. And now const success redirect url. Here we will going to construct this. So first things we will going to check from user is coming, right? So if you remember, while navigating we have stored this information on state. Now we can get that informations from this use location hook. So we will going to have this location. Inside this location we will going to have state. On state we have store. Inside the state we will going to have this from dot path name. So okay, so on from, if you see, we have just store complete location. So this location will going to have this path name. So if you see this, if you want to very much specific, you can store path name directly. So I am just storing this location completely, no worries. You can also store the path name directly. So from the location we are just retrieving the path name. If it is present, then use this information, because this is the path from user is coming to the login page, and after the log successfully logged in, we should redirect user to the same path where user were trying to be logged in. So in case we don't have any informations, user just directly come to the login page. So in that case we will going to navigate to the home page. So this is how we will going to build our success redirect URL. So instead of navigating directly, we will going to navigate to this, and after that we also need to enable this replace true. Replace true. Yeah, so this is all we need to do. So now let's see the behavior. So let's log out, refresh. So if I try to logged in, okay, my bad. Let's go to the home page and just try to navigate on this home post, right? Sorry, my post. So let's click on the my post. It will going to redirect to the login page. Once we log in, after the successful login, it should redirect the user to the my post. So let's see. After clicking on this, if you see, it is redirecting user to the my post. So it is working as expected. This is how we can maintain the browser history. And one more thing is also, this zone we have hard coded. So instead of hard coding inside the header, so let's auth context dot users dot username. Yeah, so now it is coming from the actual user. So this is all we need to do. And after that, if you see, we need to enhance our require auth, so that we have a similar kind of authorizations uh, along with the authentication. So here we need to have something uh, at the level of roles also, because the getting the authentication is not sufficient. We also need to check the roles. If user has a correct role, then after that we can allow the user to visit that particular route. So in next lectures we will going to implement the same things. I hope you like this lectures. Thank you. Hello everyone. So in previous lectures we have seen how to secure our route, and previously we just seen how to check for the authentications only, and now we will going to enhance our route for checking for the roles also. So let's open our app.tsx file. So inside the app.tsx file, if you see, so these are the routes slash users slash comment slash my post. For now we don't have anything for my post, but these routes can be accessed by the any user who has viewer and admin role. We can revalidate the same things inside the user. If we see viewers and admin, and here and the another route is comment. So let's go inside comments. So yeah, add comments, and these add comment can only perform by admin, but a view can be performed by the viewers and admin. Yeah, so these are the routes. So where we need to check for the only allow access to admin and viewer, right? So let's paste it here. Okay, so these are the routes can be visited by the admin and viewer. And here we see this post page route, where we are just rendering our page. Same for this. Let's copy it. Yeah, same for this. Yeah. And for this it can only be visited by the admin. So this is type of a setup we need and how we will going to achieve the same thing. So now let's see. So when we are rendering this require auth, right? So if you see here, everything inside this require auth, right? So on the require auth we can have allow roles also. Let's have one property or maybe roles. Okay. And on this roles we can define array of roles, uh, what roles we will going to allow. So let's define this here. Let's define interface props, and we will going to have a role array. It will going to be type of a string. Yeah. Yeah, this is all. Later point of a time we will write the logic, but for now this is how we can have. And here if we see, so here we can have a role. So here when we going to write the role, so please make sure we should append role first and after that underscore. Because because if we see, when we going to pass those roles, we are doing the same type of things, we are appending the roles. So let me show you. Yeah. So now if you see at the times we are adding, this is how we are passing the role. So in a similar way we need to follow. So here we will going to have a admin role and also this role. Yeah. So these are the two roles can be able to view all these children. So one inside this children's we also need to restrict this. This post can only be seen by the roles admin. So here let's cut it and let's render a route. Inside this route we can place the same things, and here let's append the same element. Here we will going to append like this require auth, and here we will going to write roles. Let's pass the roles only admin. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so we are all done. So now let's see it is working or not. No. So let's use how we will going to use this roles also. Let's have this implementation also here. So now we have a role. So let's extract roles from the props. Has permission, we will going to invoke this function. So this functions will tell us user has correct permissions or not. How we will going to show roles dot find, or maybe, yeah, auth users users dot roles dot finds, and here we will going to have this role. For every role we will going to check it is present inside this array or not. So here we will going to check roles dot include this role. If it is include this role, if this role is present in this table, just return that roles. So it means we have a permissions. So here we can check like directly. So let's copy this, and here when we are checking for the users, and also once we have the users, right? So after that we can check. Yeah. So here we will going to check has permission. If user has the permissions, then render whatever's be or whatever the route it is, and in other case we will going to navigate the users to unauthorized page. So in our case we don't have that page, so it will going to be unauthorized. So let's create this page. So inside the app.tsx we will going to have another page. Let's define this slash unauthorized, and here we will going to render you don't have required permissions. Yeah, this is all we need to do. And now, so this is all we need to do. So now let's do one thing. Let's check it out. So now let's refresh it, and now let's create another user. So let's create this user's Amol, and password will going to be pass, and we will only going to have this permission role viewer. So let's create this user. Yeah, user got created. And now first I will going to log in with this John. So let's log in with John, pass and click. So it will going to redirect us to the home page. If you see that blink, it was our loader. Actually let's put in on slow, so after that it will clear. So now if you see, this new post can only be seen via the admin roles. So now if we click on this, so we are able to see this new post because John has the admin role. So now let's log out, and if I try to log in with this Amol users and enter the pass, and let's click on login, so it will going to be logged in on the home page. Okay, so now if I try to click on this new post, right, so let's click on this, so it will going to redirect to the unauthorized page. You don't have required permissions to view this new post. So this is how we can have the authentications and authorizations on the React applications using the JW tokens. So I hope you like these lectures. Thank you.